Every parent wants their child to measure up. Whether in school, in sports, or in level of maturity, a parent's desire is for their child to at least be equal to the level of their peers. But what if your child doesn't measure up in stature?
In small children, there often is a feeling of anxiety about their small stature, slow growth, and often lack of pubertal development. And often they're teased, pushed around, treated like babies, and it's damaging to their sense of self-esteem. And many of them, not all of them, but many of them feel very badly about it. For the parents, it creates a lot of anxiety that their child is not doing well and that they have low self-esteem. And there's also some concern that there could be some underlying medical problem that explains the child's slow progress.
Most small children do not have a serious growth problem. Many grow at a normal rate and reach an adult height that is about the same as their parents. A child's rate of growth is an important clue to the presence or absence of a growth disorder.
It becomes most apparent that a child is having slowing of linear growth when the parent sees them with their peers. And often you can see that your child is falling behind your peers and not growing very much. And also, it's the moms that do the clothes shopping at the beginning of each school year. So when the pants legs aren't changing and the shoe size aren't increasing, then parents begin to notice that their child is not growing.
It is estimated that 10 to 15,000 children in the United States have growth failure due to growth hormone deficiency.
Growth hormone deficiency is a condition in which the pituitary gland, which is the master gland at the base of the brain, fails to produce enough of a hormone that makes the long bones and the tissues in the body grow. And it can be suspected based on the history and physical examination of the child. And it can be determined by a blood test done on the child in the office and in the hospital.
When Grant Goodman was 3 years old, his parents became concerned about his slow growth.
By the time he was 5, he was about the same size as his 3-year-old brother, and they were wearing the same clothes, and people started to ask us if they were twins, so that raised this suspicion level, and we sought out an endocrinologist to check things out. And after some extensive testing, they finally determined that he had neurosecretory dysfunction, which is a rare form of growth hormone deficiency.
This case was typical in the sense that the child was small and growing slowly. And in this situation, the testing was able to stimulate the release of growth hormone from the child's pituitary. But when growth hormone was sampled periodically over time, it was shown to be deficient in the amount that was being released spontaneously. So it shows the complexity of the growth hormone issue and why you do need a specialist to look at your child if you have concerns about their growth.
Grant started on the growth hormone shots when he was 6, and he received nightly shots. And he grew dramatically at first, and then once he had sort of caught up to a normal level, he grew pretty much at a normal rate. He's now 13, and he's still on the shots, and he will take them until his bones fuse, maybe around 18, and then they take them off of the growth hormone treatment to see if they produce enough for an adult level, and if they do, then they don't need shots anymore.
Growth hormone is a medicine that's been used to treat growth hormone deficiency, short stature, and slow growth for close to 40 years. And children receive daily injections of the hormone under the skin, like an insulin shot, beginning to grow more rapidly within 3 or 4 months, and rapidly moving upward on the growth chart to reach a point that meets their genetic potential.
The Human Growth Foundation is a voluntary nonprofit organization composed of concerned parents and friends of children and adults with growth problems, physicians, and other interested health professionals. Its mission is to help children and adults with disorders of growth and growth hormone through research, education, support, and advocacy.
Well, the Human Growth Foundation, passes along booklets that have been written by the doctors on our board and nurses in simple layman's terms so the average parent can fully understand what their child is being diagnosed with and how, if treatment is necessary, how to go about it. We also are trying to reach out to pediatricians when they have meetings, sending a speaker, we have our own speaker bureau now, who will go out and talk to the pediatricians and explain when a child should be referred, what the points are, how important it is to plot on a growth chart, and if they see the child is not growing properly, to refer them out to a pediatric endocrinologist for an evaluation.
We would not have known about the specialized testing that he needed to determine that he had neurosecretory dysfunction without the Human Growth Foundation and their wealth of knowledge. That's where I learned about the specialized test, which I took to my endocrinologist, and he agreed that Grant needed more extensive testing. They provided all sorts of backup documentation in order to help him get insurance coverage because of his unusual diagnosis. And in addition, they have an email list with a lot of very friendly parents who helped us with the initial treatment, getting through that, and then all sorts of questions along the way.
The Human Growth Foundation provides on our website an internet support list, one for adults and one for pediatrics. This is where families can all get together, talk, share anything, ask anything that they want. We also have a quarterly newsletter that goes out that we put in all the information, that anything new that's coming out, new indications, there's a different company out there now. We try to keep everybody advised, up to date with information.
If a parent suspects that their child may have a growth disorder, they should express their concerns to their child's pediatrician.
If the pediatrician is saying, don't worry, they'll all grow differently, watch them for a little bit, but if you really believe that something is not correct, go to, make an appointment with a pediatric endocrinologist and, have him looked at and evaluated. Because you have such a small little short window of time to grow, and once the time's gone, that's it, it's over, it's lost.
The Human Growth Foundation is dedicated to helping medical science to better understand the process of growth. To learn more about growth deficiencies and the Human Growth Foundation, visit hgfound.org.